Okay, welcome back. And I am gonna do my Sonic Unleashed review on voice. Well, my other cut I had to delete because I said the A word, and this is the Sega forum, so you're not allowed to say bad words in whatever media you're posting. So I'm gonna do the review again. Oh, and I am not writing a review because it takes a lot of brain power to do it, and I'm already writing a fan fiction, and it takes a lot of brain power to do that too. So I'm just my head just hurts from thinking that I have to sit down and write a review and then calculate every rating that I give, and yeah, I just don't feel like writing an extravagant review today, so I'm gonna put it on tape. And actually, when I do my review on voice, I can actually think outside the box and I can talk about whatever and then not look like a fool because they could be out of place, but you can talk about different elements of the game. All right, to start, since I'm going on 1 minute and 25 seconds. I'm wrong. Um, Sonic Unleashed is an awesome game. It's a game that has the speed elements, and then it also has the nighttime stages where Sonic plays differently, but it's nothing like mech shooting or fishing or treasure hunting, which, in my opinion, was the worst alternate gameplay. Well, actually, fishing was, but treasure hunting comes second. Alright, so the werehog was slow. Yeah, that kind of bothered me too. There was a way that you could make him faster. I seen it in the Wii version, but I have the PS2 version, so the werehog couldn't go faster than what he really was. So I had to deal with the werehogs going at 1 mile per hour, and then the enemies were pretty easy because the moves that you were learning were pretty easy and straightforward, and they even had stages where you practiced your new moves. It's those little flying enemies. I don't know, when I look at them I think that they're gnats, but GNATS to be exact. But I don't know where I got that from, but that's what I think when I look at those guys. They're like little and they fly up in the air and then they unleash their powers or whatever. Yeah. And yeah, the powers and your moves are kind of straightforward. All you have to do is just press the triangle button and all that stuff, and then you got yourself a new move. And yeah, I only thing I had to another thing I want to complain about the nighttime stages was those spinning platforms that you had to spin to get to a next platform. I thought they were a pain, and I don't believe that they were necessary. The poles were okay because they didn't give you a headache. The ledges were okay as well because they didn't give you a headache too, but it's those square platforms that you spin around, and then a lot of times you miss your platform, and that kind of upsets me as well. Um, Overall, the Werehog was the second best gameplay. I mean, second best alternate gameplay. Besides from Shadow's guns, weapons, and vehicles, which was the best alternate gameplay in my opinion. The Werehog comes second. Because like I said, it's easy to learn. It doesn't give you a headache. All you have to do is just press the triangle button, the square button, or the circle button, and then you defeat the enemy. Rather than trying to reel in a fish and then click it and then do all that stuff. That stuff gives me a headache. And then to think that you when you had to when you wanted to unlock the final story, you're not finished with the game yet. You had to unlock the final story. And if you want to unlock the final story, you had to fish. With the werehog, well, you had to do the werehog in order to go to the Gaia Gate, but at least it wasn't a pain. Like, you could take as long as you want and then still get A rank or B or even B rank or S rank for all that matters. I took 14 minutes on a mission and I got A rank. I did pretty good. It's because I collected all these medals. Oh, and then, okay, here comes the medals. The medals weren't, I don't know why the medals were thrown in there. It's more like a Mario reference if you want to ask me, but at least in the PS2 version, you don't have to be forced to collect any stupid medals. Like in the 360 version, I heard that you had to collect medals to advance to the next level, which I thought was stupid because there's like 193 out there, and then when you're running through the stage, you don't think to look for the medal on like 30 feet up in the Empire State Building or whatever the medals may be, or they could be behind a painting, like a painting or something, and you wouldn't even notice it. And to think that you will move on to the next level because you didn't get some stupid medal that was like wedged to another island. I don't think so. So I'm probably not gonna try the 360 version. Um, the daytime stages. I have to mention that the daytime stages were awesome. They were full of speed, platforming. Well, it's mostly speed because of the speed boosters. The bosses were challenging, except for well, yeah. The bosses were challenging. I do like the fact that when Eggman was about to attack, you can attack him and it stops his attack. The Dark Gaia boss was pretty fun. It was pretty unique as well, since it's like a stage and a boss all at one, and you attack his eye and everything. Yeah, so that's the bosses were awesome. The speed stages were awesome. I like how you didn't have to go through any special stages to get any Chaos Emeralds. You already had the Chaos Emeralds, and if once you beat the boss, you can put the world back together. And the nighttime bosses, they were pretty unique because you had to punch them and do everything and all that crap. It's just that some of these bosses can really kick your ass when you're trying to fight them. Yeah. Well, especially fighting Eggman as the werehog. Was a challenge. Okay, what else do I have to say about this game? The story. The story was lighthearted. I like that the story was lighthearted but a little bit serious. I don't mind serious stories at all, but when the game is not good, when the story doesn't fit the character, that's when something goes wrong. Like Shadow the Hedgehog can get away with a serious story, but something like Sonic Unleashed or Sonic 06, I don't think it can get away with an X-Man type story, tragic thing. When the game's about a blue hedgehog that runs at ludicrous speeds. I got the rating. Oh, the rating. After careful consideration, I decided to give this game a 9.6 out of 10. Yeah, a 9.6 out of 10. If it wasn't for those platforms and the werehog being slow, and also the bosses which can get on your nerves, it could have had a better rating, but a 9.6 is good. And maybe if I think this over again, it could have the same rating as Shadow the Hedgehog. Well, my rating scale. It would be cool to have two games tied on my rating scale. So, yeah, this is my Sonic Unleashed review, and I'm gonna sign off.